we're delighted to have Meriem Abida with us today. She's a business consultant and the powerhouse behind Elite Equilibrium, a top-tier consultancy shaping personal, professional and business development worldwide. From her empowering TEDx talk to her transformative workshops, Meriem ignites change wherever she ventures. With a master's in science in intervention and change management, she is at the helm of a mission to empower others towards a future of unparalleled growth and achievement. Welcome, Meriem. We are so happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine. I was listening to that bio and I'm like, who's that girl? But thank you for making such a beautiful introduction.
No, well, it's all due to you. And Meriem, we're really interested in how you perceive the role of cultural and religious diversity in strengthening societal bonds in your field of expertise.
I think it's definitely of primordial importance to have those two elements considered, especially in my field of work. So if we think about it on a global level, we have 8 billion people. We're up to 2 billion that are follow the Muslim faith, right? So I'm gonna keep it to the Muslim faith specifically. But as a such large community, worldwide community, it is actually quite important to take those into consideration when we are considering business consultancy, the place of employees, Muslim employees in the workplace, right? Those type of trainings are becoming more and more normal in a way. We lived in a society where we were more shying away from our identity as Muslims. And now that 20 years later, from early 2000s, we're discovering a new norm. So now when it comes to diversity and religiosity, it is actually primordial to consider it, because in every organization, you will have people from all faiths. In every university, you'll have people from all over the world that are coming to you. So if you are lacking knowledge, it's just a lack of professionalism. This is how it is perceived at this point. So whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jew, Buddhist, it's actually part of our society, and it has been normalized in terms of, like, we've created that comfort zone and a third space where we can all coexist again, right, in a very healthy way, definitely. So.
No, that's so true. Everything you said was absolutely spot on. And in your experience, Meriem, what are the most effective strategies for challenging stereotypes and misconceptions and misinformation about Muslims and Islam?
Very good question. So, two things: education and communication. So, as Muslims, we need to increase our level of understanding of our own faith, right? Within growing up, we might become more comfortable in inheriting our beliefs, right? And I think at a certain level, every Muslim will get to a point to question their own faith. Why am I Muslim? Do I really believe in this? And I think also a lot of Muslims will relate to the fact that they remember when they consciously took their shahada, right? So embracing that faith. So education for Muslims in terms of understanding your faith, your origin, your cultural heritage, and knowing the difference and the place of each of those elements in your life, for you to be able to communicate it properly to the other. When I say the other, it's in the sense the non-Muslims, right? They are our brothers and sisters. They are part of our community and wider community, right? So in the society that we live in, once again, it's a global community that we have now. So once you have that knowledge, then it's your responsibility to communicate it with the other, and it is your responsibility to break those stereotypes in your day-to-day life through your akhlaq, right? Your manners, your charisma, how you're dealing with people, through the way you communicate with others, but also through how you understand your faith to be. And you must have that knowledge for you to communicate it properly. And then for the receiving part, it's about being open to receiving that knowledge, right? To challenge the stereotypes you hold within yourself about others, and this applies to Muslims as well, right? And also communication is about asking the right questions as well. And when I say the right question, every question is the right question, right?
And Meriem, what initiatives or projects or experiences have you been involved with or had that align with the aims of the Islam's and Muslims initiative, the ones that foster intercultural understanding and cooperation?
I would say the first initiative is the education I received at home, right? Especially as a Western Muslim, someone who grew up in the West in a very challenging time, and I believe that you would echo that opinion as well. So at home, it started strong, and it started with allowing and creating a space that allowed all the questions to exist about our own faith, but also about the different experiences we have outside the home. So then I would say, there is the book smart, right? Being book smart and then being street smart. So I think just our general experiences in life outside the home is our school, our second school or first school at some point, right? So there is that level, but also in terms of initiatives specifically, I would go into like different work experiences that I had. One of the initiatives would be the Spirit of Leadership. I was forgetting the name of it. So the Spirit of Leadership was a program that I've designed in collaboration with Sister Sarah Sabah, an organization at Benevolence Australia, an organization in Australia where I was working. And we've put a program that took about 10 months, a full year almost, with the students, training them in leadership and taking them from one organization to another to learn about the different leadership styles. We studied the book of Sheikh Hamza, Purification of the Heart, through that program with Sister Sarah Sabah. But also we visited, we bridged that program to different Australian organizations that were not necessarily faith-based, or if they were faith-based, they were of another faith. So whether it's a Christian organization, a Jewish organization, university institutions, and different, truly quite a diverse type of journey that we've had with those students. So I think that would be one of the most important initiatives in terms of bridging two bodies in a way, and that I was directly involved in terms of like putting a program together and delivering it through a lengthy period of time. Another one would be, Elevate, the program that I am delivering this year with Bradford Literature Festival, which is embedded in habit mastery. However, the bridging comes in terms of the type of audience that you're having. And with such a beautiful festival, we have such a diverse audience, different people from different parts of the world. One of the attendees that has come told me she just came for the festival from Jordan. Right? So we're having people from America, from Australia, from the UK, all over the UK. I came myself from Canada, right, for such an initiative. So that would be definitely something that is bridging, right, different bodies, I would put. So the level of BLF would be slightly higher and bigger, actually much higher and bigger in terms of impact, right, in terms of wider audience. However, the program that I've mentioned before, we had a select amount of students that we were taking every year, about 20, that we were following throughout the year. And there are so many like different programs and festivals that we take part of, but I think for today and the limitation of time, those are the two that I would have to mention.
And they're crucial ones, like with leadership. There is such a crisis in leadership.
Absolutely.
So what you are doing is so essential, especially for young leaders for the future.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And there are people that will be leaders in their own field. We had doctors, engineers, architects, so school teachers, all sorts of educational backgrounds. So they were graduates already, and they will be in different organizations leading different programs, but it's about teaching them how to do it with excellence, while you are being your authentic self. You don't have to lose any part of yourself to do things with ihsan, with excellence in quite different ways. Wouldn't you agree?
So yeah, it's like elevating who you are, like you say, like who you are, being authentic to who you are, but raising it to that level of excellence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who you are meant to be at the end of the day.
And also, can you tell me a little bit more about the habits and the work that you do around that?
Thank you for asking. So in terms of the course itself, it was based on 4 different books And I will be adding one that I was advised to consider by Ustad Fardoon. I'll get back to you on that one. But basically, I'm going through the book of Allah Loves ... by Omar Sulaiman, right? So if you love someone or something or the creator, then you're going to know how to express that love to him, right? So, and then there is the second book by Muhammad Faris, The Productive Muslim. I cannot miss that one for my course. And then the Atomic Habits and the 7 Habits of Successful People. So quite popular books. I took all of those and I've created a program with it, a course that also follows the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ in terms of how can you create change within the 40 days, right, that you have. And the idea is visiting your habits from internally all the way to what it looks like on the outside. So often people, when they're trying to bring some type of change in their lives, they'll bring the change on the surface level. Whatever you see on the outside is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, when you ask the question in terms of how can I bring sustainable and meaningful change, is through discovering your emotional habits, right? How do you sit with your emotions? And those emotions actually have a great impact on your mind, so on your thinking habits. Right? So a lot of people, they're like, oh, there's so much happening in my mind. I'm thinking about this and this and that. So how are you organizing your mind? And that's going to have a huge impact on your action-based habits. So how do those 3 wheels work with one another?
So Meriem, thank you so much for your time today and your insight and your wisdom and sharing your experiences with us. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, and the honor is all mine. Thank you. Thank you. Wa alaikum assalam.